The morning in the metropolis was like a racetrack without a finish line. People flowed through each other like a raging river. Neon lights reflected on the streets, still damp from the night before's rain. Taidy stumbled through the crowd, her work clothes slightly wet from the drizzle. Upon reaching the office lobby, she paused, breathless, before pushing the door open. The wall clock chimed clearly, almost mockingly. "Oh, just a little more, damn it. I have to make it today." "It's so busy this morning, Miss Taidy. Did you run?" "Well, if I didn't run, I'd be late again." She tried to smile, but her breathing hadn't yet returned to normal. Is this city too fast-paced, or is she too slow? The office was so quiet you could hear the air conditioner. Taidy handed some documents to her boss, a middle-aged man known for being punctual minute by minute. He glanced at her through his glasses before looking at the wall clock behind him. Tick, tick, tick. The ticking of the second hand seemed to punish her one sound at a time. Taidy's face flushed, as if her mistake was being loudly proclaimed. "I'm sorry, I'm only a little late. I won't let it happen again." "Boss." Don't say a word. Only a soft sigh that hurt more than a reprimand. As she walked back to her desk, she overheard her colleagues whispering. "Taidy's so capable, but she's always late. Yeah, no matter how capable you are, you can't be punctual." She forced a smile, but those words pierced deeper than she thought. That night, the city was filled with dazzling lights. Taidy walked home slowly, a weariness clinging to her body, until she stopped. Her reflection on the glass of the tall building in front of her moved a beat slower than her, like a different person, as if being weighed down by something she couldn't see. Her heart pounded, yet felt cold at the same time. Taidy. This isn't right. She raised her hand. The shadow followed, but slower, as if weary. Taidy. Why does it feel like time hates me more every day? The night breeze swept over her, cold like an unheard warning. She hugged her arms. Something was chasing her, but she didn't know what it was. The new day started the same way. The alarm clock rang 3 times, but Taidy still overslept. She hurriedly grabbed her clothes, got dressed almost too quickly, and left the room with slightly messy hair. Her heart pounded as if she were running against a clock that never waits for anyone to catch up. Arriving at the office, she rushed through the door like someone with no other choice. Her boss looked up from his documents, looked at her, and looked at the clock. That was it. Without a word, the disappointment echoed throughout the room. Taidy. I'm sorry. The traffic. I really intended to wake up early." Boss. Taidy muttering, "Why can't I ever fix my time?" That night, Taidy walked home slowly. The city lights looked beautiful like shooting stars, yet felt cold. People rushed past her as if a gust of wind was pulling them all in a race against time. And Taidy always felt like she was left behind. She sighed. Sometimes the dazzling city becomes a black hole that swallows people too late. She stood waiting to cross the street in front of a glass office building. The flashing lights made her stop and look at her reflection. Taidy. Today, why do I feel like I haven't kept up with anything? Voices from around her. Watch out! Excuse me. Taidy. Is this city really moving too fast? Or am I the only one who's too slow? She was about to cross the street, but something stopped her. Her shadow. It moved slower than last night, like a weakening shadow, like it was slowly draining some kind of energy from her. Taidy slowly raised her hand, and the shadow followed, but half a second too late, as if the figure in the shadow was about to fall. Taidy's face turned pale. She swallowed hard. Her heart felt like it was being forced to accept an unknown fear. Taidy. What's wrong with me?
She moved her arm again. The shadow still lingered, as if panting heavily. Taidy, voice trembling. This isn't right. Fear began to grow in her heart, like waiting for an answer she never wanted to hear.
On the subway at night, the creaking sound of the tracks was like the breathing of a large animal. Taidy clung to the handrail with what little strength she had left. Her eyelids felt heavy like sandbags, and she began to drowsy, almost falling asleep standing up. Suddenly, a soft but strange voice sounded beside her. Old man. Little girl, you look like someone who truly hates things. Taidy. Huh? What? She jolted awake, turning to look at the speaker with a puzzled expression. The old man had a kind face, a smile that revealed nothing, but his eyes were deep, like bottomless wells. In his hand he held an antique pocket watch, its gears intricate and beautiful, like the tiny heart of the world, beating to its own rhythm. Taidy stared at it, inexplicably drawn to it. Taidy, what do you mean that time hates me? The old man, smiling faintly. Those who don't keep time are erasing their own time little by little, you know? Taidy, that sounds like a piece of wisdom, but... The old man, but you know that it's true for you. Those words struck a nerve, a point she had never told anyone, and she couldn't understand how this man knew. As the train stopped at a station, the doors opened with a ding. An old man approached and without hesitation offered her a pocket watch. She was too stunned to refuse. It was heavier than she expected and warm like a pulse. Old man, keep it. It will remind you when your time is running out. Taidy, wait, what do you mean? The old man smiles and walks away without answering. She widened her eyes. In an instant, the crowd swallowed the old man. It was as if he melted into thin air. Taidy looked down at the pocket watch in her hand. Its hands twitched gently, as if beating a heart. A strange feeling began to overwhelm her. Something was about to begin, and it was about time. Something she had never paid attention to. The next morning, everything was wrong from the moment she opened her eyes. She had overslept by 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. The moment she stirred, the pocket watch in her hand vibrated violently, like a heart in agony. Tick, 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 tick. The sound was shrill, like the labored breath of someone on the verge of collapse. Taidy flinched, her heart pounding even harder. Oh, what the hell is this? Stop vibrating! She shook it gently, but the watch vibrated even more violently, as if screaming a warning to her. She remembered the old man's words. It will warn you when your time is running out. She swallowed hard. Is this really the beginning? While waiting for the bus, it vibrates. 5 minutes into a meeting, it vibrates harder. When late for a work submission, it's so loud she has to shove it deep into her bag. It's like an error detector, and she makes mistakes almost every hour. But what's even more terrifying is she's starting to see faint glimpses of her future self, overlapping images that flash before her eyes like shadows from another dimension. Sometimes it's her, pale as if she's about to die. Sometimes it's her walking slowly as if something is draining her energy. Every image is exhausting, like she's about to disappear from this world. Taidy, am I being plenished by time? Coworker, what, Taidy? Nothing. But inside, she's starting to feel overwhelmed. Because no matter where she looks, in the corner of her eye, it's like another her is constantly superimposed. In the evening, she began to feel that the day was shorter than usual.
It was as if hours had slipped away without her realizing it. She couldn't even remember when she walked home. When she stopped on the sidewalk front of the mall, suddenly a superimposed image of herself reappeared, clearer than before, less faint than before, seemingly tangible. The figure was pale, like a thin cloth being torn by the wind. Taidy, is this really me? She reached out her hand, and the superimposed image vanished like dust. She stood still, her heart pounding. She knew then that time wasn't just moving forward, but it was leaking out of her life little by little. Tonight, she didn't know what to fear more, time itself or herself in a few days. That night, Taidy worked overtime alone. The office lights flickered as if forgetting their own breathing. The soft hum of the air conditioner sounded like someone's sob. As she walked to retrieve a file from a high shelf, suddenly an old file fell, without any wind and without anyone nearby. The yellowed, brittle cover looked as if it had been forgotten for over 10 years. Taidy opened it with slightly trembling hands, and her heart sank as if falling from a tall building. An accident report. Headline: Young woman dies due to time lapse. The picture in the report was hers, or someone who looked exactly like her, but the incident happened 5 years ago. Taidy muttering, "No, what is this? Taidy, why is it my face? And why was this taken before I was old enough?" She unconsciously stepped back. Her breath was so faint and shallow it seemed to be erased from the document word by word. Suddenly, a faint voice echoed from the dark corner at the back of the room. Despite the front door being electronically locked, an old man emerged from the shadows, as if the shadows were his own door. His eyes were deep and steady, seemingly piercing through humanity to the very essence of time. "Taidy, how did you get in?" The old man, smiling faintly. "Shadows don't need doors, child." His voice was soft, but its coldness pierced her bones. It was like a wind from another world caressing the back of her neck. The old man stepped closer. His shadow stretched unnaturally long, like time out of sync with this world. He pointed to the report on the table and spoke in a voice like a lullaby. "You are someone who shouldn't exist anymore. You are the shadow of yourself. On the day of the accident, time cut one thread in your life." "Taidy, does that mean I'm dead?" The old man, shaking his head gently. "Not yet, but the time you've lost is coming back to haunt you. Every time you're late, you're unknowingly killing yourself again." Those words struck her heart harder than anything else, and she finally understood that every minute she let slip away wasn't just making the day worse, but it was truly disappearing from your life. The old man led Taidy out the back of the building, up a narrow staircase until they reached a corner offering a clear view of the entire city. Neon lights twinkled like the deadly heart of the metropolis. The big city was beautiful, but a beauty that concealed something beneath the brightness. The old man gazed at the city, stunned and serene, yet possessing a wisdom beyond that of an ordinary human. He uttered a sentence that instantly sent a chill down the spines of the rooftops. "Old man, this city grows with time. The more people drop time, the more the city devours it. People are unaware because it slowly swallows, it doesn't bite." Taidy watched the lights dance as if alive, and a strange sensation began to sting her chest, as if she were a part of the city that was consuming her as well. The old man pointed down at the people on the street below.
People streamed past like a weary river, yet some faces looked unusual, pale, as if something had been drained from them, walking slowly, as if their age was increasing minute by minute before his eyes. The old man. They're not tired, they're being taken away by time. Taidy, face down. Why would the city do this? Why would it let people have their time devoured like this? The old man simply looked at her with a gaze that said, that question she would find the answer herself soon. Taidy felt a heavy weight in her heart, as if she were carrying an entire mountain, because she had just realized that it wasn't just her who was disappearing, but the entire city was being overwhelmed by time. The pocket watch in Taidy's hand began to glow, like her heart beating uncontrollably fast. It was as if warning her that time within her was slipping away again. She turned to the old man, helpless. Her eyes trembled like a lost child in a big city. Taidy, and what must I do to survive? The old man looked at her with deep, gentle eyes, like looking at someone who still had a chance to survive, but with little time left. Old man, stop killing yourself by letting time slip away. Start by being on time for the first time just once, then time will begin to accept you. Taidy clutched the pocket watch tightly and felt a gentle warmth from it, as if time was always giving her a chance, but this time she had to be the one to start first. Taidy woke up with a renewed determination. Today she would not be late. She felt like someone ready to fight the whole city, but the big city seemed to know her intentions and wouldn't give up easily. The moment she started the car, the engine sputtered before stalling completely. The rain began to pour down, as if the heavens were deliberately trying to sabotage her. She knew instantly this wasn't an ordinary morning at all. Come on! I have to be on time today. She pursed her lips tightly before deciding to run through the rain to the train station. Just as she reached the station, the train broke down. People moved slowly, as if weighed down by a muddy confluence of time. It was as if the whole world was slowing down, except for her heart, which was beating faster and faster. The pocket watch in her hand lit up red. It blared like someone's final heartbeat, warning her, if I'm late this time, I might not live to make amends. Taidy, please don't run out of time. Give me now. She clenched her fists, running through the crowd as if fighting against the entire city that seemed intent on engulfing her. Finally, she ran to the company building. Just seconds before the security guard pressed the door open, the sliding door slid open with a soft ding. It was like a signal that her life hadn't been cut short yet. Taidy stood there, breathless, raindrops and tears mingling. The pocket watch in her hand stopped vibrating, stopped shining, silent as if falling asleep for the first time. Then a gentle whisper sounded, as if from heaven, or perhaps from time itself. The mysterious voice, "Your time has begun anew." Taidy, whispering through tears, I really did it, didn't I? She stood there, feeling her heart begin to beat in rhythm with her time once again. Taidy sat at her clean and organized desk. The morning sunlight streamed brightly through the window. On the desk, like an empty coffee cup and a notebook full of ideas. She closed her laptop with a satisfied smile, having finished the work ahead of schedule. She looked up at the wall clock, which showed 9 a.m. Finished on time again today. Now I understand that rushing is never my friend.
From the day Taidy decided to walk on time, her world changed dramatically. The chaos of the past was replaced by peace. The once piling up of work was now completed on time. A fulfilling and creative life had begun. Inside the clean and bright subway train, people were smiling. Taidy stood relaxed amidst the crowd. There was no jostling, no rush. She wore the same pocket watch she had received from the old man as a necklace. The same old man sat opposite her reading a newspaper. He looked up and met Taidy's gaze. His eyes were full of kindness and a knowing smile. It was a smile that said, "You did it." Taidy smiled, said nothing, simply raised the pocket watch to her chest. The old man, folding the newspaper slightly, "Time has a life of its own, and now you are a part of it." Taidy stood on a high hill, gazing down at the cityscape, filled with skyscrapers and countless people walking purposefully. The city lights began to illuminate as the sun set. She carefully took off her pocket watch and held it in her hand. The watch made no sound, but a sense of serene energy emanated from it. With an understanding smile, she slid her finger along the lid, put it back in its place, and walked away gracefully. Taidy understood then that this pocket watch wasn't there to remind her of death, but to remind her to live life to the fullest, to walk in rhythm with her own life. As long as we control time, we can always survive in this city that never sleeps. Taidy, looking at the pocket watch, keeping time is keeping life. Smiles and turns to walk away. Conclusion: those who don't keep time are unknowingly killing themselves little by little. Time isn't something that flows past us, but something we live with.